I'm Chris Andrews, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll give you tips on how to stay safe when a snowstorm hits near you.
I'm Lauren Mons, and coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you about a silent killer that can put you and your family's lives at risk.
Straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you what new proposal could cost you some extra cash out of your pocket. WVU News starts now. In the aftermath of record snowfall, more than 50,000 West Virginians were left without electricity and heat. I'm Alex Barrero.
And that's why it's important to know what to do during a winter emergency. I'm Taylor Moser, and you're watching WVU News, a newscast produced by journalism students at West Virginia University.
There has been one of the worst winter storms on record in West Virginia.
And while the snow piles up on the side of the road, our reporter Chris Andrews joins us with tips to get you through winter. Chris?
That's right, Taylor. While it's snowing outside, you're safe inside. Disaster can still strike if you lose power. West Virginia was recently left in a state of emergency after 4 feet of snow covered the mountain state. And with 4 more weeks of winter ahead, I have some tips on what you should do if you're left in the dark.
That's an interesting one. It really just depends upon...
Sandra Peppel has lived in Morgantown for over 19 years, and until now has never had to leave her home because of severe weather.
Once the house got to be about 40 degrees or so, it was a little bit too chilly, and that was a decision to kind of come in and be a little bit closer to, in town.
Over 6,000 people in Morgantown were in the same situation as Sandra this month with no power or heat. Morgantown on average receives between 30 and 45 inches of snow a year. And after already receiving 40 inches of snow this year and with no end in sight, some people might feel unprepared.
All in all, though, I mean, for the whole storm, we had anywhere from probably 100 to 200 people that called in that was having some type of problem.
Deputy Director Wolf says there are certain things people need to remember to have in case there is an emergency during a snowstorm. A battery-operated radio, a flashlight, lots of blankets, and some non-perishable food. Snowstorms can be tough on people, and that's why it's also important to make sure that you have extra candles, batteries, and an extra space heater in case an emergency occurs.
We had a small gas fireplace, and that worked, I guess, as well as to be expected, but the house still did drop to 43 degrees the last night that we slept there.
Pipes may also freeze this time of year, so many people should consider insulating their pipes to keep them from breaking. Also, driving in snow can be very dangerous, so checking the tread on your tires before driving could keep you safe on the road. West Virginia's snow season usually lasts until the end of March, so make sure to winterize your car and stock up on antifreeze. Alex, back to you.
Thanks, Chris. While driving on the roads can be dangerous, some residents are finding that sidewalks are not much safer. Over the past 5 years, Morgantown has issued 13 work orders requesting repairs on sidewalks. And now, the Morgantown Pedestrian Safety Board has come up with a plan to fix the city's sidewalks and much more. The City Pedestrian Safety Board plans on making Morgantown more walker-friendly. The board has decided to proceed with its 150-step plan, which was under fire during a public forum in early February.
I think everybody agrees with the concept of a network of sidewalks that makes the city pedestrian friendly, but there are legitimate concerns about how you pay for such an expensive project.
But students like senior Brian Callahan know all too well that Morgantown sidewalks need a makeover.
I think it's a good thing. I know that in Sunnyside, sidewalks are pretty bad, so it'll definitely make the area look a lot nicer.
The plan will repair and add new sidewalks and streetlights. The total cost of the project is estimated at $32 million. So how will this money come in? The proposal says that owners who have sidewalks by their house will pay $1 per year annually. So if you have 50 feet of sidewalk, you'll have to pay $50 a year. Although it could cost a few property owners a lot of money, Callahan thinks it's worth fixing up Morgantown.
Well, it won't affect me while I'm going here, but I think overall it'll better the image of WVU, so it can help me in the long run.
There are many ways for your voice to be heard. You can sign the online safety board petition or become a fan of the proposal by checking out their group on Facebook. The safety board meets the second Monday of each month. The next meeting will be March 8th. For more information, you can visit the Morgantown website.
While some officials are raising awareness about the sidewalks in Morgantown, WVU Student Government Association is trying to get more people to vote. Last year, just half of all college students voted in the presidential election, and now WVU Student Government is trying new ways to reach out to students. Candidates have been promoting their Rock the Vote campaign and have held several presidential debates. The focus? Issues like transportation and a tuition freeze. SGA members hope this will increase voter interest and turnout. The official inauguration of WVU's student body president will be held on March 3rd.
Recent snowstorms caused WVU to close its doors for the first time in 8 years. Some public schools shut down for 2 weeks. So where do kids go when school is closed? One local organization has the answers you're looking for. The Mountaineer Boys and Girls Club is providing parents with a place to send their children when school is not in session. And while kids have fun, academics are taken very seriously at the club. The Boys and Girls Club offer tutors while emphasizing leadership and character building.
We have a program called Project Learn, so those members who are identified as being at risk of academic failure early on are required to attend Project Learn. They do reading and writing activities to enhance their cognitive ability.
The club is always looking for volunteers. Those who are interested should call the number at the bottom of your screen. They call it the silent killer, and it claims thousands of lives each year.
That's right, Alex. We're talking about carbon monoxide poisoning. Our consumer reporter, Lauren Mons, joined us with information that might save your life. Lauren?
Recently, carbon monoxide killed 2 Monongalia County residents. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas produced by gas generators and heaters. Residents are using these products more during the winter, and that's why it's important to know the dangers of the silent killer. This should have been the sound the Graziani family heard that evening in January of 2008. Instead, their home was quiet as a silent killer filled their lungs in their sleep. After waking up to the family dog barking around 2 a.m., Cindy Graziani knew something was wrong and screamed for her husband's help.
Yes, it was about a minute after I came out to help her. I got real lightheaded, dizzy, and I hit the floor.
With no batteries in the carbon monoxide detector, the Grazianis didn't know that a poisonous gas was present in their home. The leak was later traced to a plugged vent in their gas furnace. An elderly Monongalia County couple died recently of carbon monoxide poisoning while using a gas-powered generator to provide heat. Carbon monoxide poisoning causes over 2,000 unintentional deaths in the United States per year. You can prevent carbon monoxide poisoning by changing your batteries and testing your detector at least twice a year. Morgantown Fire Chief David Fetty says carbon monoxide poisoning is the most common form of poisoning because most people have gas appliances in their home.
Carbon monoxide is a chemical asphyxiant, meaning that you're still breathing, but your cells aren't getting oxygenated, so you're actually dying.
The Graziani family is grateful to be alive today.
My alarm for work would have went off at 4 o'clock, and I don't think anybody had been around to hear it.
Today, fresh batteries are something the Grazianis won't go without. We love you. So cool. The symptoms of carbon monoxide are similar to those of the flu: nausea, dizziness, and headaches. If you're feeling any of these symptoms, go outside immediately and call 911. Alex, back to you.
Thanks, Lauren. I will make sure to check my carbon monoxide detector as soon as I get home.
Me too, Alex. Coming up next on WVU News, our sports reporter Mike Boyer will explain why there are so many empty seats at the Coliseum. What WVU sports team is ranked in the top 10 in the country, but outside the top 50 in attendance?
At WVU, we're changing the game. I've been doing research on head injuries in sports and the effects on the human brain. I love football, but it can be a dangerous sport. I hope our work leads to changes in the game and how it's played. Prevention, safety, improving the sport. That's what makes this
The WVU women's basketball team is undefeated at home and rated number 8 in the country.
The team is doing very well, but not enough people seem to notice. WVU sports reporter Mike Boyer joins us with more.
Thanks, Alex. WVU is one of only 2 schools in the country to have both men's and women's basketball teams ranked in the top 10. The women's basketball team isn't having much luck putting fans in the stands. In fact, the women's team averages almost 10,000 less fans in attendance than the men's team. I recently visited the Coliseum to get to the bottom of this Mountaineer mystery. Kim Harrison has been living and working in Morgantown for the last 15 years. Harrison is a loyal fan of the WVU women's basketball team. She is a season ticket holder and feels the team does not receive enough support.
Yeah, it does upset me. I mean, the men's team can, do just as well as the women, and the fans just seem to come out no matter what for them. And, the team's in the top 10, and they've got to really give tickets away to try to get fans in the seats.
Number 8 ranking of the women's basketball team is the highest in school history, but how many fans really know about the women's success?
I mean, I think we're top 10 in the country. That should be enough. I mean, we're undefeated at home. I think we're an exciting team to watch.
The women's basketball team is undefeated at home this year, but not too many fans know about it. Their average attendance for home games this season is 1,800 people. Compare that to the number of the men's average attendance of over 12,000 fans per game. Typically for men's basketball games here at WVU, student fans have to arrive early and stand outside for many hours just to get in. But that's not the case for women's basketball.
Hopefully, maybe with that publicity, then next year they'll get some more fans out, and maybe if they do well in the tournament this year, the carryover into next year, they'll get more season ticket holders and just more fans in general.
The women's basketball team has one final home game remaining on their schedule before the Big East Conference tournament. Every Mountaineer should come support the women's last home game of the season this Saturday, February 27th. They will be hosting Marquette. Now back to you, Alex and Taylor.
Thanks, Mike. I'll be sure to show my support at the game this Saturday.
I'll be there too, Taylor. Well, that's going to do it for us this week for WVU News. Remember to visit us online at itunes.wvu.edu. I'm Alex Barrero.
And I'm Taylor Moser. You can also watch any of our shows on YouTube. The address is at the bottom of your screen. Thanks for watching WVU News.